My name is Jared James. If you aren't familiar with me, I'm best known as an entrepreneur that gets the unique opportunity to coach and train agents and brokers in the real estate world and speak at conferences in front of thousands of people. But it wasn't always that way for me. What separates me from so many others is that I've actually done everything that I want you to be able to do. For that reason, this is the place to come if you want to learn the strategies needed to succeed in today's marketplace. This is the Jared James Today Show.
Hey everyone, Jared James here, and welcome to episode 32 of the Jared James Today Show. Thank you so much for watching. As always, guys, if you enjoy this, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment, and as always, share it with somebody that you think will benefit from this. Big thank you to all of you that watch these in your offices and at your sales meetings and everything else. That's super cool. I'm smack dab in the middle of convention season right now, which basically means that I'm everywhere but where I am right now. So it's been great getting to meet so many of you, see some of you for the second, third, fourth, fifth, whatever time, but it's been really cool to hear how many of you are watching these videos and benefiting. And today, what I'm going to talk about is something a little bit different than what we usually talk about on this show, which is just recently, a few days ago at the time that I'm shooting this, a massive Facebook data breach has come out. There's all this information coming out in the industry about iBuyer home services, and just overall changes in the industry is what I want to talk about. And the reason why I'm discussing these today is because, just like I tell you guys when creating content, how do you know what content to create? Listen to the stuff people are sending you, like what emails do you get, what questions do you get? That's how you determine what library you're building, like you all should be doing right now, and I hope that you are. But for me, it's the same thing. I've been getting a mass of messages from you guys. The Facebook data breach. We should get off of Facebook. iBuyer. Why would Realogy get into iBuyer home services? They're not on the side of the agent. And just all these things that are happening. So I want to talk about them. And more importantly, I want to talk about what it means for you. And, I want to say that I'm talking to you, an audience that watches me, which means you need to be open to thinking differently than the think tank in your office, right? Because what we do is we make snap judgments and we act out of fear and we do these kinds of things. And I'm telling you that what I want you doing is I want you acting out of faith, out of strength, not out of fear. What does this mean? Change. Does that mean I'm gone? The people that listen to me generally are not the ones who are going to be gone, right? Unless you should be gone, which is most likely not you because you listen to someone like me. But there are people in the industry that need to be worried about their job overall if they are not adjusting and changing to how consumers are actually adjusting and changing themselves. So let's take these one at a time. You may or may not have heard about this, but there was a major Facebook breach that came out that actually occurred back in July, but they didn't actually mention it till a few days ago because now they fixed the problem, and they didn't want to mention it while the problem was not still fixed. And basically, almost 50 million users' information was breached, okay? And I mean, that's a lot of people. That's probably why, for many of you, when you went onto Facebook, on your phone, on your computer, wherever it is that you did it, and usually you don't have to put in a password, it just automatically remembers you, it now asked you to enter your password, okay? And a lot of people are asking us to, do we need to change our passwords? Do we need to? You don't need to. You can if you want to, but Facebook has actually access through these things called tokens. The tokens remember you. They don't know your password, but they know that you're you, and they keep logging you in. So if you want to change your password, you can, but you don't have to. A lot of people say, how could this happen? How could they breach our information? How could people have hacked us and got into it? That's not supposed to be able to happen. And what Facebook is saying is that basically they were through a video uploading app that they were using, their developers through their developer APIs basically found three bugs that hackers were able to get into, not one, not two, but three, that they were able to get into and get access to almost 50 million of their users' information. But as always, it's not exactly as it seems, because what we are getting a ton of messages from people saying, well, I don't want to do Facebook ads anymore. I don't want to do Instagram ads. Does this mean that they have my credit card information? Does this mean that they have, and you're getting really worried. Here's the good news. All hacks are not the same, okay? And all breaches are not the same. And this breach looks like it was primarily something where, they wanted data. They wanted to see the gender of people. They wanted to see where they lived. They wanted to, see that kind of stuff. What they didn't see at this point, from what they're saying, is that they didn't see people's DMs, their direct messages. They don't have access to people's credit card information. They don't have, and not only do they know that just because they found the breach, but also because they don't have people's cards being used and everything. Like, they weren't in there for that kind of a thing. So So rest assured, that is not something at this moment that you have to worry about, and it looks like something that going forward you're not going to have to worry about as well. But again, I understand the fear. Really what it looks like they've done is that they potentially gained access to some of the third-party apps, Instagram, Spotify, these kinds of things, okay? But your information's okay, like don't freak out. You don't need to stop doing ads. You don't need to, whatever. The main point I really want you to understand is that in this fear age that we live in this internet marketing age that we live in, where when something like this happens, our initial reaction is, get off of there. I told you it was nonsense. I don't want to put my credit card on the internet. I don't want to do whatever. I want you to really look at things from a different perspective and say, hey, the first time someone got mugged, people didn't stop carrying purses. People didn't stop carrying wallets, right? Like the first time a bank got robbed, people didn't stop going to the bank. The first time a storm hit in a town, people did not desert that town. The first time, do you guys see where I'm going with this right now? Is that in this digital age where so many people are so uncomfortable, it's not what you grew up with, it's not what you're used to, the initial reaction is always to run the other way and go, see, I told you, and look for a way to make yourself comfortable again by eliminating the thing that's making you uncomfortable. And I'm telling you, the internet isn't going anywhere. So please, I'm not putting my credit card online. I'm not putting that is such a 50 years ago mindset. Like in the world we live in today, that's not an option. Sometimes your credit card info is going to get stolen. Sometimes your information is going to get breached. And guess what? 100 years ago, sometimes your house got robbed. You didn't give up on homes. You didn't go, I told you this homes thing was nonsense. We're going back to tents. You know what I told you? Do you guys get the point I'm trying to make? The internet is like 19 or 20 years old. Like it can't even legally drink yet, okay? It's like a year away from making its biggest mistake. It's like just put everything into perspective here. Bring it all back in. Because those that run out of fear and those are the ones that go, I don't understand this and I don't whatever, you're going to lose. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Those that grasp what it is that I'm saying right now and don't look for reasons not to use something or don't look for reasons why things don't work, but instead like a winner go, how do I make this work, are the ones who ultimately are going to win. Because things are changing, they're changing quickly, and you've got to decide which side you're on. The other thing that we've seen a lot going on lately is these iBuyer services, right? This idea where you can go online. Zillow had done this. Keller Williams is launching this. Open Door. Keller Williams had already been testing it. Open Door. Companies like Knock. Companies like all of these types of companies have had these iBuyer services where you can make cash offers on the spot. And real estate people have hated this because they're going like, what do you mean? That's going to eliminate me. That's going to like, and then Realogy came out. Realogy, who I work with a ton of companies at Realogy, and Realogy came out and said, hey, Coldwell Banker is going to launch this iBuyer, our own iBuyer services in Atlanta and Dallas and eventually Tampa, where we have a ton of students in Tampa. And people are messaging me like crazy, like, I thought Realogy was on our side. I thought whatever. And you know what I say to Realogy? I say bravo. Do you know why I say bravo? Because they're making a decision here that's actually in the benefit of the consumer. But because they have you in mind, you can get ahead of it and also make a decision that is in the benefit of you. They call this their Catalyst program, okay? Here's the big thing that I wanna make sure we all understand by this. I've been saying this forever. It doesn't matter what you want. It doesn't matter how you do business. It doesn't matter whatever. All that matters is what the consumer is doing. And people are going to consume how they want to consume, okay? What you have to decide is whether you're Blockbuster or whether you're Netflix. You have to decide whether you're Borders Books or whether you're Amazon. You have to decide whether you're agent from 57 years ago or whether you're going to be today's agent, because people consume the way they want to consume. And we can't get scared every time a little bit of behavior changes. No different than you can't get freaked out that some people go FSBO. Some people go for sale by owner. That doesn't eliminate you as an agent, because not every person feels comfortable doing that. And just like now there's going to be this iBuyer thing, most people are not going to be comfortable with that. But it's another consumer outlet. It's another consumer-friendly way that they can do what it is that they want to do. But what I applaud Realogy for, Coldwell Banker for, is the idea that, look, when you look at the way Open Door does it, they charge a 6.5% fee. So when you look at how, we don't know the full details yet, how a Realogy or Coldwell Banker is going to do it, I'm pretty sure they're going to work it in a way where the agent's not cut out, but you're still working in the way the consumer wants to work. And that is all that matters. And the more we do that, the more we adjust, the more that companies that should stick around are going to stick around. But as I said before, you have to decide right now which side you're on. Do you want to be Blockbuster? Do you want to be Netflix? Do you want to be Border Books? Or do you want to be, you guys see where I'm going? Do you want to be Amazon in this case? That is 100% what is going on in our industry right now. And what from a viewer like you that listens to a guy like me, if you're listening to me, that says something about you, right? The fact that you're not listening to, and I'm not going to name any names, whatever, but never had a new idea in the last 25 years, never pushes you on anything, just says everything's the same. Everybody's trying to change, but it's the same. And the fact that you're listening to a guy like me means there's something in you that goes, that makes sense. So what I want you to do right now, because I want you to win, like please understand me, I want you to win. What I want you to get here, or I want you to really get from listening to me, is the idea that you're open, right? You're open-minded about the idea of what could happen. You're open-minded about the idea of what's good that happens. Because those that really come from that perspective, the agent is going to be here. The agent's not going anywhere. The number of people who used a real estate professional has gone up every single year. But which agent people use, that's the battleground right now. That's what's being decided right now. The product's not at risk. Real estate's not at risk. Population keeps going up. People need places to live. The product is not at risk. What's at risk is you, the person who doesn't want to change with how the economy and how technology and how everything else is changing. That's who's at risk. But those that grab hold and go, okay, they're still going to use us, but how they find us changes. Now I'm going to use this tool to get in front of them, and then everything I've learned the last 20 years about how to stay in touch with people and how to get them to connect with me and making sure they use me again and getting referrals from that person, all that stuff still exists. All that stuff is not going anywhere. But how we get that at bat, how we get that potential client to work with us, that's all that's changing right now. And if you don't change your dogmatic idea of how you used to do it, you're going to be sitting on the sideline complaining about what's happening rather than benefiting from what's happening. And I think you know which side that I want you to be on, okay? So guys, this is an important message right now. I'll make this really simple. If you agree with what I'm saying right now, hit yes below, okay? If you don't agree, cool, that's fine. Just write no below and say why, okay? And I'm going to tell you, like, I see a lot of different things that are going on, and for me, what's happening, it's not a matter of whether I agree or not. I'm just reporting on what's going on right now. But I'm interested to hear from you guys. Guys, give this a thumbs up if you like this. As always, I appreciate all of you that subscribe to my channel on here. Share this. I think this is an important message for people to hear. So share this with as many people as you possibly can. I really appreciate it, guys. Until next time, hopefully I'll see you in a town that I'm coming to near you in the near future. Thank you so much for watching. Talk to you soon. Hey there, you, and I am talking to you in particular, person that made it to the end of my video. It means the world to me. But if you made it to the end, I'm hoping that you'll take a second and subscribe right here. Make sure you share that with all your friends, by the way. They're in real estate, sales, entrepreneurial, whatever it happens to be. By the way, if you're looking for a speaker for your upcoming event, click right here to get some more information. And as usual, if you have a question you want me to personally respond, just connect on social. You can click right over here and see all the platforms I'm on. I hope to hear from you soon. Have a great one.